Hello and welcome to this Lewis Art tutorial. And in this tutorial, I'll be giving guys tip on creating an FKIK bone, an FKIK switch in Blender very easily. So I call it switch immediately because of the pattern we'll be using to create it. So if you look at this rig, which I'm using for a current animation, you can there's an IK solver here, as you know, and also you have an FKIK switch. So I can move this and control this. So same pattern I use for the leg. You have the FKT switch, it snaps back, then you can rotate stuff. Okay, so I'll be showing you guys the tip of creating this easily. It's very easy because of the pattern I used. So let me just give you an outline of what we're using. So we're creating a basic bone and then using the drivers to control that. So to add your bone, you can go to armature and press single bone. Let me turn on the screen that displays so it's easy for you guys to see. Or if you don't know, you can go to, since this is 2.7, you can go to create menu and armature. So it creates one again. And notice create where the cursor is. So if I press armature again, it creates that. So I've gotten one. Let's make a basic hand. So if I go into the edit mode and switch this, and let's extrude hand. So if you're making a character by, you'll get something like this. Extrude one more. So this is like a default trick for your hand, the top arm, lower arm, and the hand. So, so by default it's an FK mode. So let's create an IK for this. So select this bone and just extrude down, and select this one and press Alt P to clear parent. Therefore, this is just a single bone. Nothing is controlling it. If not, if it's connected to any of this, it won't work. So selecting this bone and shift selecting this. You can also do this by selecting this bone and going to this bone tab and choose inverse schematics and do all this stuff. Uh, this is bone 003 and set it to 2. It works. Or you can use the shortcut if you know it, which is select this. Okay, you select this bone, select this, and Control Shift C and press inverse schematic. So in case you didn't name your bones, it solves that problem for you. So if you have done this, you want a situation whereby if you rotate this IK bone, this also rotates with it. And so to do that easily, select this bone and shift select this, and shift select this and press Ctrl Shift C. Same. Instead of what you do now is go to relationships and choose child off. So when you do that, just to be sure, click on this set inverse, then select this bone and go into this panel and uncheck inherit rotation. So now with this I can rotate this. Even though if I scale this, it scales with it. If I move it, it moves. So by very easily I've created just a basic IK bone. So now what we want to get is a situation whereby we can switch between the FK bone and the IK, FK and IK. So by you, if you, the principle behind this method I'm going to teach now is if I select this IK constraint and turn it off, so I can now rotate this. You see, I can rotate it. So what is making it not rotate is the fact that this IK constraint is on. So what we want to do is to be able to turn this off anytime we want it in the viewport. So that's why we're going to use drivers. So let's create a driver who shift duplicate this and move it sideways. So it doesn't matter where you keep it. So okay. So just for safety's sake, let's just name this FK stroke IK. Okay. So make sure this, you can parent it anywhere, doesn't matter. Just scale this. So now select this bone and show do add driver here. One more thing, sorry, I didn't add one more thing for this IK hand is the vector pull. Uh, so I will extrude one here and Alt P, click parent, and move it backwards. So same as we did it before, shift select this and control shift C, or you can just press control shift I to active bone, it works too. So what this bone does is if I move this anyhow, I can go and carry this bone and just set this. So same thing with this. Once when we turn off this IK switch, this vector pulse turns off with it. Okay, so everything is looking good. So since we have added a driver here, to be able to edit this, we have to go into the graph editor. So we get this by going to graph editor. Okay, so when you get to this, you have to go from this F curve to the driver interface. And since this is selected, and by pressing N, you get this menu, and it's already Blender has already transferred it here. So now it's just for you to edit it. So we'll be using the, if you come to the driver, you see various types of drivers, but what we'll be using is the scripted expression, because for me I find it the most effective, depending on the situation, but for this I find it more effective. So for this expression, what you are meant to put here is the name of the variable. So you can, anything you write here, like if I write boy, I have to write boy here. So if there is var for variable, you have to put variable here. Okay. So next, what it demands is for the whether it's an to put whether it's an object or an armature. So I'm setting it to be an armature. Then it asks for what bone do you want to control it. So I want it to be controlled by this FKIK bone. So now what happens is it snaps immediately. So to solve this, I want when I move this bone up, it switches. So so do that, I will set it from the Y location, because the Blender Armature uses the standard 3D orientation, whereby Y is up and Z is the 3D space. To be sure, let's check. Okay, and changes from world space to local space. So Y is up and Y is up and down, YZ is 3D space. So if you come here with as if we have a problem, because I want when I move this up, that's when I want it to effect. So to change that, you can go in and do switch direction. So I can now go move this, it snaps and stuff. Okay, so let's check. Think of that is done. We can now close this menu. So now Blender offers you the ability to copy a particular driver from one object to the other. That's what we're going to do now. So right click on this eye with the pink outline and do copy driver and select this. Make sure the eye is turned on. So what this eye means is whether you can see it in the viewport or not. So I'll put page driver here. So you will notice now when I move this up, everything is now an FKIK bone. If I move this down, it's now an IK bone. Yep. So another stuff we want to control also. If you notice, if I move this up and rotate it now, it works. If I move this down, it works. But what you notice is when I rotate it, you get one kind of funny movement whereby this is kind of resisting the rotation, because by default it's set to not inherit the rotation of this. So to solve that, we have to add also a driver to tell it to rotate, because now it doesn't matter because it's working perfectly thanks to the IK constraint, but you want it also to work perfectly with the FK constraint. I don't know what I'm explaining it for, but I hope it's helping guys. So let's select this um, rotation bone here and go into this bone icon, and in this inherit rotation just put page driver, and this solves the problem. So when I raise this up now and rotate, see it doesn't resist the rotation because it will turn on the inherit rotation, but when I do Alt G it turns it off. um, so that's it for this quick tip or tutorial, I think. Just to crown or round everything up, I will add a little tip of creating of setting it up whereby you only be able to uh, move it up, not other way, because now if you want to move it, yeah, you can move it any way you want. But if to make it possible that for you to just move it up into a particular pattern, to do that you just go into the transform tab and lock this up. Just lock this up, and the location lock all except the Y location. So it's already moving there, and to prevent it from going lower than this, you go to the constraint and turn on the limit location. I'll just set this to local space and x, no x, y, and so anyone that is set to 0, that means it's not going to work, but anyone set, then I want this to just move points to. So I'm guessing because I've done it before, and generally that's what don't know I'm wrong. Let's try 1 or 2. Okay, so I grab it off and 2. So you see it's working now. So no matter what the angle you grab it from, it's work. You just raise it up and rotate. So maybe in future tutorial I'll be able to figure out how you can be able to solve this problem for it to snap, for the FK to snap to the IK, and for the IK to snap to the FK. In case you have any idea on doing that, you can post that in the comments to help me and help other people that don't know how to do it. So thanks for watching this tutorial. I hope it helped you in one way or the other. And please subscribe and like my videos. Like this video if you think it helped you, and subscribe to this channel. I'm very grateful for that. Thank you. Bye.